All right, so today we are going to get a look at the Hasbro Black Series Hyperreal 8-inch Luke Skywalker Bespin figure, guys. So I just picked this guy up, or he was just delivered just the other day from Hasbro. So we're going to get a look at this particular figure. Now, as I had mentioned in my Darth Vader Hyperreal review, I'm not really sure if I'm going to collect this particular scale, but obviously as a reviewer, I definitely wanted to get a look at them. So we did take a look at the Vader Hyperreal, and I was really impressed with it, really enjoyed that figure a lot. So I definitely wanted to get a companion figure for Darth Vader. So this is why we have our Luke Skywalker Bespin figure, guys. So we're going to get a look at the box. We're going to get a look at all of the accessories, the figure itself, all the detail, articulation, and then of course, guys, we're going to also put them in a little diorama just so we can see how the figure will look sitting on your shelf, guys. So let's go ahead and get started. So getting you guys a look at the outer box, guys, some really cool box art. Now, at first glance, the picture that they chose for the Bespin figure is kind of funny looking a little bit, but as you look at it more, you tend to get used to it. I've gotten used to it in the last 24 hours, so it doesn't look as bad to me as it did when I first put my eyes on it. But really cool box art and very cool texture to the box. You can see that there's a gloss over the imprint there. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but there is kind of a glossy surface to the imprint, so that is really cool. So we have our Star Wars Black Series logo, Hyperreal, and then of course a depiction of our figure, Luke Skywalker, Disney, Hasbro, and your 14 and up, because these are considered adult collectibles, even though I also consider the 6-inch line a adult collectible as well. So guys, let's get a look at the other side of the box. So getting you guys a look at the other side of the box, again, we have our Luke Skywalker figure in an action pose. And then you also have a little bit of information in regards to the figure and the posability. So let's get a look at what it states. So up here at the top, it states highly posable, and then it has that same information in different languages. Here at the bottom, it says seamless joints. So obviously with these figures, you don't see the joint points that you would see with your 6-inch line. But really cool stuff. And then of course at the top we have Hyperreal Star Wars Black Series logo in the bottom corner. And then once again we have our figure in a very cool action pose here, and more information in regards to the details and articulation with our figure. So up here it states highly detailed character likeness. So I'm assuming that they're using the photoreal technology for the face imprint. So we will get a look at that. I have not taken a close look at this figure's face, just peered through the side window of the figure, but didn't really get a good detailed look at the face, because I always like to do my reviews as a kind of an unboxing as well. So your first impressions of the figure are also my first impressions as well. And then here off to the side, it states that it has a metallic endoskeleton. So just like your Hyperreal Vader, you have that endoskeleton that really makes the figure very posable. And they even give you a little depiction of the endoskeleton there in the leg, which is really cool. And then of course, it also boasts to have character-inspired accessories that come with the figure, pointing to the side weapon and the tool belt and whatnot, guys. Really exciting stuff that it looks like we're going to be getting with this figure. And then again, we have our Star Wars logo, Hyperreal, Disney, Hasbro, very cool stuff. And then as I had mentioned earlier, off to the side, there is a side window where you can kind of see the figure there inside of the box. So that was the only view that I saw this figure from when I took it out of the... And then just like your Vader, the box has Velcro, an opening point with Velcro on it, and you would open it to reveal your figure and all of the accessories. So getting a look on the inside, you have your figure right here. You also have the stand that is behind him. You can also see that he has his saber in one hand, weapon in the holster. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the weapon is in the holster. You have a couple of different looks here for your Luke Skywalker, a couple of different depictions and illustrations. And then you also have your additional accessories. And I'm gonna swing the box over a little bit so we can get a better look at those accessories. So getting you a little bit better look at the accessories, you see that your Hyperreal Luke Skywalker comes with an additional face sculpt and then several different hand positions. And then of course you have the actual saber that is also with the additional accessories right there. And then again, a better look at some of the illustrations. You have Luke Skywalker with his blaster, his saber with the optional head on the figure in that depiction. And then of course you have Luke using the force or his force hands right there. So that is really cool. And then also right here, reaching for his weapon. So very awesome, very, very awesome stuff with the box art with your Hyperreal Luke Skywalker. So guys, we're gonna go ahead and pull the figure out of the box and get a look at the articulation, detail, and all of that good stuff. And then of course, at the end of the video, we will do a short diorama with our figure. So guys, let's go ahead and pull them out the box and get a closer look at this figure. All right, guys, so we have our Luke Skywalker figure out of the box, and he is really, really cool looking. Very, very cool. He obviously has the rubber texture, same as Darth Vader. Most of this is due to covering up the joints. But it is a really cool, very awesome look. Very, very cool looking figure, and I think he looks excellent, and I really like the feel of him. He is much lighter than Darth Vader. Obviously, Darth Vader is a very, very heavy figure, and the movements with Luke Skywalker are a little bit more fluid than they are with your Darth Vader figure, but we'll get to that when we get to the articulation portion of the review. So let's get you guys a closer look at the figure. So getting you guys a much closer look at the figure and all of the detail. He is a very, very cool looking figure, as I had mentioned, all rubber all the way around, but you still get some very, very cool features and details, even with the rubber covering. So you have the detail with the pockets on the pants there, as well as the top. And then of course, all of the detail in the belt buckle. You have his saber there that hooks on to the little hook there. Really awesome. You have a couple of pouches, and then of course you have his side weapon there as well. So really cool, very nice detail. Side pocket on the shoulder there. So I think it's nicely detailed, even for a mostly rubber texture to the outfit. So really, really nice stuff. And then getting you guys a look at his boots there. Again, very nice attention to detail in the boots. And the articulation is just really, really solid. Getting you a look at the back, there's a couple of pouches there as well. Nice detail on the pouches. A very nice deep brown for the belt. So very, very nice detail. Very cool. And then looking at your face sculpt there, I think it is a decent face sculpt, a very good face sculpt actually, I should say. So they obviously did use the face print technology there, so that is really, really awesome stuff. And then we'll get a look at the other head sculpt as well when we go over the accessories. So getting a look at the articulation for your Hyperreal figure, 8-inch. He's going to give you a straight arm like so. So it goes straight out like so, so that is really cool. You get an elbow bend, it goes about that far. He will raise his arm up about that high, so that's really cool, really good stuff. So he can get his arms up really, really high. I don't know if he can go all the way around. I don't want to try that type of articulation, but you do. It's hard to get a look at the joints because you can't see, but you can see that there is very good articulation in that shoulder joint that allows him to bring that arm up really, really well. So that is very good articulation. And then of course, going out to the side, very good, again, articulation there as well. You have a twist in the elbow. So there is a twist in the elbow, your twist in the wrist as well. There's also a little back and forth action in the wrist that allows you to move it up and down. So that's really cool. That is very, very awesome. So in the leg area, your Luke Skywalker is going to give you a straight out kick like so. So that is really, really good articulation. He gives you a knee-high bend that's about that high, so that is really, really cool articulation. So going back in the leg area, your Luke Skywalker is going to go back about that far, so not too bad. Not the double joint feature that you get in the Black Series, but that's decent enough for your 8-inch figure. Your kick off to the side, like so, with your Luke Skywalker figure, so that's really, really cool. So your Luke Skywalker gives you a wide stance that's about that wide, guys, so that is really, really cool. So in the leg area, your twist is actually in the boot area. So the boot allows you to twist the foot inward, outward to get that twist. You can also twist the thigh as well, but it doesn't give you that same movement that the boot will. So you'll have to kind of adjust the boot and the thigh a little bit to get that leg in whatever stance that you need it to go in whatever direction that you're looking to get your figure to go in. In your ankle area, your figure's gonna go down about that far in the ankle area, goes up really, really far. And then of course you can adjust the ankle as needed from side to side. So you do have that articulation as well. In the ab area, your Luke Skywalker is going to go down that far. So that is excellent articulation in the torso area. And then he's going to go back about that far. So it's really, really cool articulation in the torso area. And then, of course, you have a nice right to left twist as well. So very, very cool stuff there. And then in the head area, he's gonna go down about that far. And he's gonna look up about that far. And then of course you have your left to right twist as well. So very, very good articulation with your 8-inch Hyperreal Luke Skywalker Bespin figure. Very, very awesome stuff there, guys. So getting you a look at the accessories for your Luke Skywalker Hyperreal 8-inch figure. You get several different hand positions, as you can see there, guys. You also have the lit portion of the saber, and then you also get your additional head sculpt, which is really, really awesome. Let's get you a much closer look at that head sculpt. There is the additional head sculpt. So again, very cool likeness. I guess you get, with this one, you get the hair that's a little bit more messed up, a little more sweated out. And of course, you have your different hand positions as well. So that is really, really cool stuff there, guys. And then getting you guys a look at the additional head sculpt with more of a sweated out hair sculpt, where the hair is a little bit more in disarray. And then again, just as a comparison, there is the head sculpt that comes on the figure. And again, you have your other head sculpt that where the hair is just a little bit sweated out a little bit more, but very, very cool. And those are your two additional head sculpts with your 8-inch Hyperreal Luke Skywalker Bespin figure. Very, very cool. So for the hands on your figures, you would obviously remove them by pulling them off. And there's a small little peg there, as you can see. And there's the space for the replacement hand. And you just simply slip it over that ball piece. And now you have your hand switched out. So that is really, really cool. Very awesome stuff. And then for his weapon, you have the very cool holster there. And you would simply unlatch it. And there's a little hole that you would plug the strap into if you are trying to keep the weapon in place in the holster. And you would simply plug it into that hole if you were trying to keep the weapon in place. But we're trying to get a look at the weapon, so let's go ahead and, so we're gonna unstrap the weapon and pull the weapon from the holster. And just to get you guys a better look at the weapon, some really cool stuff, very nice paint apps. Kind of comes in a machine gun gray with a silver tip, so that's very awesome. And then giving you a look at the weapon in his hand. Really, really nice stuff there, guys. Get you a closer look. So that is a very awesome looking weapon. Fits in his gun hand very well. As you can see, the finger goes through the trigger really, really well. So that is absolutely awesome stuff there. Really, really nice stuff. And then getting you a look at the saber there, guys. There is a look at Luke's saber. Mine seems to be a little warped. I had the same issue with Darth Vader's saber hilt, but this one's not as bad as Vader's was. But there is a look at the saber that is really, really cool. And then of course, with the lit portion of the saber, you would simply insert it into the hilt, just like you would with any of the 6-inch line saber carrying figures. Goes right into the hilt very nicely. And then of course, the saber in hand with your figure fits really, really well, very nicely. And that is some very, very awesome stuff, guys. And then the last accessory is the stand that comes with your 8-inch figure. Just like Darth Vader, you get this graded stand here, which actually is supposed to emulate the carbon freezing chamber, the grates that cover the chamber. This is what this stand represents. So it's very, very cool that we're depicting it here with the carbon freezing chamber as our backdrop. So that is one of the accessories that come along with your Luke Skywalker 8-inch Hyperreal figure. All right, you guys, so now what we're going to do, obviously my favorite part of the review, is we're going to put this guy in a diorama with our Hyperreal Darth Vader. Obviously, as you guys can see here, I kind of have a makeshift carbon freezing chamber here, guys, trying to depict that particular scene where Luke faces his father for the first time in Empire Strikes Back. So guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Force is with you, young Skywalker. You are not a Jedi yet.
Hyperreal Luke Skywalker Bespin figure. Very cool figure, very articulated figure, nice detail, lots of accessories. Very awesome figure, guys. Again, I'm not sure if this is a line that I'm going to continue with, but I do think it is a great middle ground line between the Hot Toys and 6-inch line of figures. If you don't want to really pay the steep prices of the Hot Toys, this would be a great line of figures to get into. It is a little pricey as compared to the 6-inch line, but of course a lot cheaper than your Hot Toys 1/6 scale figures, guys. So really cool stuff. Let me know what your thoughts are. Will you be collecting this particular line, guys? Is this a line that you're looking for if you are someone who likes the Hot Toys but don't want to pay the price? Is this a line that you will be collecting? Let me know, guys. Put those comments down below. Please like and subscribe. And of course, guys, from the Father to the Son to the Obi-Wan Force Ghost. May the Force be with you always.